Hey family, good morning. Happy Saturday from Mama Bear Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what time it is. Get your drink, pull up. Let's talk about it. Today I'm just going to do a very, very simple video with you, kind of let you know what we're doing, what we're getting into this weekend and move forward. So very excited morning for us. It's Saturday morning. You know, we're doing our normal chores, you know, family members, different people. Everybody has their thing that they're doing. You know, kiddo goes outside, takes the dog out. While he's out there, he does the initial let the chickens out and the initial look for eggs. And he comes running in, okay, and lets us know there's an egg, there's an egg, there's an egg. Now, we have been waiting for a very long time. You know, we have black Australorps, and they're known, they're prolific egg layers. They hadn't laid eggs yet, but obviously we went through cold snaps, we went through winter time, you know, obviously, so just didn't know if they were going to start laying on time, right? And we had read that they might lay up to like even as early as 16 weeks. So we were tracking eggs possibly coming back in December. Obviously, that didn't happen, and I got all types of messages. Listen, Tasha, until 6 months has gone by, then you can start to worry, right? And the 6-month mark is like the middle of next month. So I was trying not to freak out. It's a little disappointing every day. And guess what? Today we had one egg. It's really small and cute. They lay decent sized eggs, so I'm assuming that they'll get a little bit bigger over time, introducing a little bit more protein and maybe get a better egg. But let me tell you, we're so excited. This one little cute brown egg, absolutely love it. So our family is feeling blessed. God is good. We're feeling just super much, you know, a lot of joy, a lot of excitement. And it almost feels like we took a picture of it in hubby's hands and posted it on Instagram. And it kind of felt when we bought our first home and, you know, you put the house keys in your hand, we took a picture. It kind of feels like that. That's how crazy it is. Okay. So, super fun morning for us. Getting into the rest of the day, you know, we're thinking about livestock, and we're going to go and get stocked up on a lot of livestock type stuff. Hay, snacks, more protein. I just watched Patera's video yesterday. Thank you, sister. That was a great video for just motivation and options for you know, your girls, for your chickens, and getting them to want to lay, and some other food options. And for me, you know, I'm always thinking grid down and what are options and all this stuff, right? It just was a very good video. So if you haven't seen it, you got to check out this video, right? On my Discord channels, I actually posted it for my Patreon Discord and my other Discord for my other YouTube members when I had YouTube membership. So, great video. Just so funny that we got our first egg the very next day. It's great. But we're going to go stock up on animal stuff, animal feed. We're going to be looking at the packaging a little bit better, all the snacks, extra hay, just all the things for chicken. We're going to get the wood, and we're going to get the sand that we're planning to put inside of the outside run area. So we went back and forth of what we were planning to do. I put brickwork in the inside run, right? The little run that the little original coop had, put down that, and I keep hay, or I keep straw in that area where their food and water is. And then outside of that, if you've watched my other videos, there's a larger run area, and that is the area that it's chicken wire, but we're going to, hubby's going to build me like a wood edging around it, just to help for them trying to dig underneath it and to keep stuff out. And then also we're going to be putting down, I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. We're going to just wing it. We're going to go in and see how it looks, of sand, because I want to be able to walk. I don't want to be having any difficulties falling down when I'm walking in there. I have really bad ankles, so your girl falls down a lot. So we'll see how that sand situation works. I know some people reached out to me worried about worms, and they won't be able to get down to the worms, but baby, these chickens, they scratch. And so if they want them worms, they're going to scratch down to the ground anyway and get to the worms underneath the sand, okay? Because we're not putting bricks or linoleum flooring. We're not putting anything down before we put the sand down. Okay. It's just to keep the mud down, because they have already all the grass is tore up, right? Is detached, if you will. It's just big clumps of muddy grass, and the more it rains, the more muddy it's going to get here. So yeah, that's what we're at for today, what we're doing. I just wanted to bring you a video of like, hopefully motivation. Feel good, not panic, even though the urgency needs to be there. What is left to do? What are you doing? What are you getting into? Let me know in the comments. Another thing that I'm concentrating on this next week is our feel goods. You know, after doing some inventory and really looking at stuff, I realized I talk about this on my channel, but we're not really locked and loaded when it comes to like our feel goods, right? If you talk about having the ability to have a drink, we don't have a ton of liquor stocked as far as that we consume. We have a lot of liquor, like the kind to burn for cooking and the kind for medicinal use and tinctures, but we don't really have a lot of like the stuff that we actually drink like for pleasure, right? So I was like, we need to get that. Coffee, we need way more coffee. We have some coffee, but we need way more. We need creamer. If you look at my stockpile now, you'll be like, are you even a prepper? Like, it's horrible. So my powdered creamers, you know, we need to stockpile. Our snacks, you know, getting your favorite peanut M&Ms or almond M&Ms. Hubby loves almond M&Ms. Different candies, different snacks, putting them in jars, vac-sealing them, putting a little oxygen absorber in there, and stockpiling them somewhere. Not eating them anytime soon, but stockpiling. I think I saw Alaska Prepper, this was a long time ago, like probably over a year ago. I seen a video of his where he had taken down some little jars that he had put peanut M&Ms in, had vac seal, put an oxygen absorber in there, put them up. And it was like a year later, and he was opening one of the jars to see if it was still sealed and to see really if it tasted good. And he said they tasted the same as the day he put them in the jars, right? And so that's exciting for me because your girl has no true snacks where I've thought about at the store. I'm specifically getting these snacks. What are our go-to snacks, and specifically spent time, got the right jars, put them in the jars, put them up, right? I have stuff here and there that is put up, but not really with the thought process of like we have some crackers and stuff like that, but I kind of did that with a thought process of just having cracker options to go with soups and stews and things like that for grid down and for going with soups when people don't feel good, that type of thing. But, you know, like we're chip heads. I haven't stocked any, you know, real little like snacky type crackers, snacky type chips, any of the candy, anything like that, right? I think I have a couple 5-gallon buckets of Easter candy that I vac sealed up. One year I had a bunch of leftover. So there's time periods where I'll have leftover candy, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, Easter, whatever, and I'll vac seal all the bags that I have left over and I'll throw them in a 5-gallon bucket. And so I have several buckets here and there that have candy like that in them. But I'm talking about like jarred, you know, very, you know, specific on not just candy in general, but our go-to candy, right? What is the stuff that's going to bring that joy and make you happy? You know, if you have your home, maybe it's you make bread and you make it all the time. You're constantly baking. So what can you stockpile now to ensure that you can still do that? What are the things, the handheld tools, the different things that you will need to be able to continue to bake? You know, your hand beater, you know, the different, if it was grid down, you could continue, you know, stockpiling something as simple as just pie filling. Right? And making sure that you have the stuff for the pie crust, making sure you have the right baking gear. You have, you know, you have a cast iron baked pie pan. You've got a regular bake pan. Like, what are all the things that you need to be able to do I said pleasureful. Is that even a word? Pleasureful. The pleasure. I don't even know. I just had a brain fart. To bring you pleasure, right? What are the things? You know, maybe it's you make birthday cakes every year for your family and you want to be able to continue to do that. Do you have the ingredients? Do you have those things stockpiled so that you can do the basics? And do you have the things, the items to be able to do that in a grid down situation? Like, what makes you happy Maybe it's board games and you need to concentrate on the entertainment aspect of it. We have a solar generator, so we can still plug in this TV and plug in this old school DVD, and we have 1,000 old DVDs, and our plan is to be able to still have some sort of movie night, right? And I don't know how often we do that, because you're right, you have to be able to charge the solar generator, but having the ability to do that. Right? How many books do you have? How many fictional type fun books to read? For kids, for you, for elderly, what type of, fun books do you have? Crossword puzzles, that type of thing. Stuff to keep your mind occupied and in more of a fun atmosphere. Maybe it's board games. Maybe it's card games. Maybe it's you going on the internet and making sure you've downloaded, 50 ways to play card games with a card, deck of cards, right? What is it that makes your family happy? Maybe it's just being able to go out and do the chores and take care of the chickens and take care of the garden, and it's just continuing to get that stuff, if that's what the fun is for you. But what is the fun stuff for you and your family? The things that bring you pleasure. And let's concentrate on getting that stuff, because we constantly talk about being physically ready and spiritually ready and mentally ready. And I think part of that mental stuff is really truly having the things that make you happy around you. We all do it. We're having a down day. We're not feeling good. You're like, I just want to take a bath, eat some chocolate, right? What is it? What is it? Is it you like to go and get your nails done every 2 weeks? So if you know that makes you feel good to be able to soak your nails, to have a nice fresh file all the dirt and make them all nice and pretty again, and then putting color on them, then get your home kit. Maybe you never want to do your nails yourself ever, but get the things. Get the little soaking tray. Get you a little nail kit that's ready to go for you to be able to do your stuff, and get the dip kind of color if you're not really good with the brush kind. Like, practice it a few times, get the soaker, get the, dryer, right? You can get the dryer super cheap. Maybe it's the bath. Okay, how do we figure out making sure that we have the ability to take a bath, right? In some capacity. Maybe that's concentrating a project on outside, where's an outside area where I can put a claw bathtub that I picked up somewhere. Okay, maybe I went to Habitat for Humanity. Maybe I went to garage sales. Maybe I went on Marketplace, found me a claw bathtub, put it outside, did a cool coil fire pit type setup, right? Maybe I'm doing an outdoor shower area as well, but maybe that's the project that needs to be concentrated on, because you've done all the things and you're just trying to make sure that your quality of life and those pleasure things are done. And if that's the thing, if chaos is going around you, and you and yours have done a setup to where you can take a bath like that, right, out in the outdoors, and it's going to be warm water and the opportunity is possibly there. Do those things. Concentrate on the pleasure things, right? And you might have to get creative, because in today's world, kids have their heads in cell phones and tablets and game systems and all of that, right? And it's how do you continue to do that? And I think that's more than just, making sure you have a, maybe it is, hey, you download some games on a tablet that are not, don't need the internet, and you plan to continue to let them do that, right? And play games and do that, even during grid down, and then you'll plug it into the solar generator. But for them to be able to do that might be part of the plan, whatever the plan is. But you got to think further than that, because if that's the plan and then an EMP hits and then none of that stuff works, the solar generator doesn't work, the iPad doesn't work, nothing works. What was the plan for the kids? Is it reading books? If you ask my kid, he thinks he's just a little manipulator. He's like, I'm going to read books. Boy, it's crazy, because sometimes he really loves to read books. And then half the time he's like, nah, I don't want to read books. Now, maybe he would get really into it, though, if that's the only thing he has going, is to either play outside with his dog, read some books, right? Go outside and explore, maybe play some board games, right? And he'll probably be just fine, but because he's been reading from a very, very young age. But, you know, I don't know what makes you and yours happy, and get those things, right? If it's board games, if you have some kind of weekly board games thing, take a look at your board games, go to that store. You're going to be surprised. There's so much board games, new stuff, and just start adding to it more and more so that there's a variety, right? I just think that that's important to keep our mental game. I think that's a piece that has to be there to help assist us in our mental game, right? You know, parents, people who are going to be lookouts and be watching, you know. There's some folks that are not going to be able to handle that. You have a large part of the population who's just going to be in the bottle, right? Just drinking the whole time, or smoking the whole time, or, you know, they just can't handle it. And so what are the things that make you feel good and get those things? Maybe it's having some cigars and you're like, I just need a cigar to just relax a little bit. Whatever it is, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to be like, you know, whatever. Just what is the things that make you happy? Maybe it's having a tea every night. So what do you have to be able to boil water the quickest and fastest? Maybe it's one of those pots that you put the water in, you plug in. You'll plug it into your solar generator, but it gets hot within like a minute. So it's not really taking a lot of power because it heats up so fast. And you have that to pour over your teas, right? You know, maybe it's that. Maybe it's not a full bath, but it's just a foot soak, and having the ability to just soak your feet with a little bit of Epsom salt, right? And treat your feet like that. Put nice warm socks on afterwards, right? Like, what is it that makes you feel good, and make sure that you continue to have those things, right? I just think that it's super important for your entire family's mental game and that transition when you've thought a little bit on this area. And so that's what we're going to be doing these next couple weeks, is concentrating on the pleasure stuff. We've gone so hard in the paint in years past of just all the things, right? Get the things, prep, stockpile. And a lot of times we just don't think about truly concentrating on preparing the things that we know for a fact we really enjoy and bring us joy, right? So do those things. Maybe it's hubby being able to work in his shop still and do things, and there's more tools that you need to get, whether those are on grid or off grid. You have more stuff to get, right? You know, maybe you need some wood and you need to stockpile some wood so that you have stuff already there to be able to continue to do projects and fixer up type stuff. You know, I don't know what this is for you, because everybody's different. So hopefully my ideas gave you some sort of idea, right? And made your mind think like, okay, it's this for me. I need to get this said thing, right? And you get out there and you do it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I know everybody's taking a look at that video as of last night. It's pretty graphic, right? It's not a good situation. It's not a good video. It's not a good feeling to watch that and know that that person passes away and is not here anymore later. It's just yeah, it's horrible. So that's not going to stop. You know, there's a lot of stuff right now happening. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of urgency. There's a lot of this is happening. There's a lot of that, right? Just be still. Pour you a coffee, a tea. Think about what you want to accomplish this weekend and just accomplish it, right? Go out and do something. Prep something that is meaningful to you, that will make you feel good, right? Maybe this is stockpiling pet treats, right? Thinking about your animals, your livestock, and it's just stockpiling treats. That's all you're thinking about this weekend is, I'm going to go get treats for all the pets and animals, and concentrate on just that and getting some stuff for them, so that, you know, they're important too when things are different. Things are, you know, imagine the day, if there's a day that they can't go outside anymore and they're used to going outside every day, and they have to be inside, right? And so having a treat, having some stuff, because they have a mental game just like you have a mental game, right? And you're going to be responsible for that because you're their owner, right? So anyway, go out, do great things, be kind, I just hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week on the next video. Take care. Bye.